the WBO welterweight title on the line this weekend. We have Brian Norman Jr. Versus Jin Sasaki. Right now, I feel like Brian Norman Jr. for the last few years, probably last 2 or 3 years. I don't know if people been paying attention, but this dude has been a force in the sport of boxing. He is, and I'm not saying this just now, just to say it. Uh, Eyes have been on him for a while now. This guy's legit. I'm telling you, he's everything that people said Keyshawn was. He can do the same type of things. Very good fighter. This guy Jin Sasaki, very good fighter as well. And he's like a Canelo Japanese version. He's a 140 that's moved up to 47. Very tough, big guy. One of the biggest 140s that was at that weight class. At 47, still a big guy. He's going to be able to go to the body, can box well on the outside. Can take some body punches very well. Seems to take punches flush a lot of times. But the good thing about Sasaki is he's young, but he knows how to mix it up. I think his only loss came against Hiroka. In the Hiroka fight, he was just a little too aggressive against a guy with a lot of power. I think Norman gonna come in equally with similar power. And to be honest with you, people don't realize this, but Norman, Hiroka, and you could throw Gary Antoine Russell in there as well. Those guys are some hard punchers. Just around that area right there. I'm talking about some of the hardest punchers in the sport of boxing. And you'll never see those guys really get walked down. I'm talking about pound for pound, some of the strongest knockout guys. So for Sasaki to get in a situation like that against Hiroka, not too surprised. Hiroka is really that good. Against Norman, he's gonna have similar issues because Norman's a very good boxer. Just had past opponents recently that say he's more of a technical fighter than power puncher, which is something that, as far as when I was watching him, he was more technical. Yes, he can fight as far as with his power, but the guy has skills, man. He knows how to do everything he needs to in the ring. He's a good all-around fighter. I see people say he's an old school type of guy, old school fighter. You can't say that. A lot of these guys say they're throwback fighters. This guy's really a throwback fighter. You can even say Sasaki is as well, because Sasaki, he wants to smoke. He fought Hiroka early. That was a tough fight. I don't know if people know it. Hiroka is a dog. And for him to jump in the ring with Brian Norman Jr. right now, it's going to be a tough fight. I think Brian Norman Jr. is going to work that jab, that power jab, going to go to work. To try to go to the body. I think the hook's going to be open. That right hand over the top's going to be there late in the fight, around 6, 7 round. If not before then, but it's going to be a very tough fight on both sides. Sasaki definitely not going out there to lay down. And, he's kind of flourished and filled out at that 147 division, so he's got some time to kind of adjust. But this is not an easy fight, though. It's not like a guy who's a smaller guy. This is a big 147. Sasaki is very talented. Like I said, he's like a Japanese version of Canelo. He's the closest fighter I've seen in boxing. I'm not saying as far as the skill set, I'm as far as what he does. From what I've seen, he's the closest thing to what I've seen as far as Canelo, like a replica. He probably watches Canelo. I wouldn't doubt it. He probably watches nothing but Canelo. But he's like a replica. Like, dude, really, I don't know why. I'm like, man, this dude reminds me of Canelo. Never kind of matched anybody up with Canelo before, but he's definitely one of those guys. So if you're a fan out there, you really don't have a gauge of what kind of fighter he is. This kind of fighter he is. Gonna be one of those type of fights too. And he fights like that. He comes to fight all the time. And Brian Norman Jr. is the same way. To be honest with you, he really is a tough fighter, man. He knows what to do in the ring. He's very smart, high IQ. Knows who he's in the ring with. Respects the fighter to the point where it makes him even more dangerous. Like I said, that right hand's it's gonna be good. That body work. I feel like the footwork is really what's gonna get Sasaki, because he's gonna get surprised by the footwork. A lot of people do. I think Cuevas even got surprised by the footwork. I think the movement, he thought he was gonna be able to be lateral and kind of turn a little bit more than what Norman was doing. Wasn't able to do it. He was athletic, but just couldn't get it done. But this is gonna be a very good fight. That's all I got. Like and subscribe.